right. Yet again. Yet again. Big boy is coming. Isn't he, Goresh? Your favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, well, okay. There's like this misconception of people thinking that I hate Jiren. I don't hate Jiren. I just don't particularly find his design to be super interesting. But he's a really, really good. Obviously, like you have issues with Universe Survival Saga, Realm of Gods, Full Power through Battle Road. Like this is the unit you want.
Yeah.
The only thing I have against him personally is that I just find him to be rather plain. That's it. He's a ridiculously powerful unit, relatively popular character. So cool. I mean, Banner sucks, but that's besides the point, I guess.
Yeah, so that I would say that is the thing with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta too, is that, but he's just like sexy Super Saiyan, right? But it's the same thing where he's very sort of like vanilla, I guess is a good way to describe it as well. So, yeah, as you guys, can obviously tell already, we have the LR Jiren banner coming. So this brings a few things, right? So we have the celebration info for JP. This was the Tanabata celebration. We have the LR Jiren legendary banner is coming. We're going to look at that in a second, but the banner sucks. Don't summon. Don't summon. Don't summon. We have the story event, which includes the new Casserole free-to-play unit. Pretty solid. A bunch of Dragon Ball Super story events return. Not a big deal. All right, so there's this chain battle, right? Which was against Angel, Golden Frieza. This came out along with Jiren on JP. Now, Global already got this one. It was a mess, right? But what's interesting about this is that the Goku chain battle dropped along with Angel, Golden Frieza. So now Global very quickly could actually end up behind a chain battle. Because this one really, I guess, should be here right now. The next Dokkan Fest is probably going to be Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. And he has his tied to him, which is Omega Shenron, right? So I am a little surprised, actually.
Because on JP, they started doing a chain battle every single celebration, pretty much.
Yep.
So if Global skips a chain battle now, it's going to be relatively difficult to catch up. And there's also the other fact that we're getting the Topo and Dispo EZA at the same time as Jiren. They're not delaying it a week like they typically do for EZAs.
Yeah.
And the reason why I think they did that on JP in the first place was so that you could have a little bit of extra power for chain battle. But since we already had that on Global, I guess, I don't know, they just want to push it up to be consistent.
Yeah, and then there's Topo and Dispo right there. Okay. So, the banner. Banner's not good. Global players, at the same time, I wish I could say, y'all better be summoning after how much complaining there was about Jiren, but I am really, on my knees begging you not to summon on this banner. This banner's bad. So you have Jiren, who's obviously great. Well, we have Topo and Whis. After that, a lot of this is pretty much fodder. God Topo right here is really good. Skinny Boo actually is really good. So, I mean, you've got decent units on here, but you're going to summon on this banner as a global free-to-play player, and you're going to pull Boda Magetta. That's what's going to happen. So, I would probably recommend to avoid summoning on Jiren. And, people are going to say, well, how are you supposed to get LRs as a free-to-play player if I don't summon on Legendary Summon banners? Very simple. You get them from, the 66, ticket unit multi we're probably going to get for the 6-year anniversary. Worldwide Download Celebration, you get all the tickets. That's where you should aim to get LRs. If you're a free-to-play player, save, summoning on Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is way smarter than Jiren, right? Jiren is a better unit overall, but he's a summonable LR. You have your 12 featured units to contend with. As a free-to-play player, you don't want to touch this. You just don't want to do that. No way.
Yeah, one point I will make, though, just sort of to be a little bit of a contrarian here, is that there are no mega hype banners coming up soon for Global.
Yeah.
So if you're somebody who just really wants to go all in for Jiren, it's not honestly the worst thing ever right now. We just had the step up. We just had the end of the year stuff. We had Golden Frieza's banner, who's probably one of the better normal Dokkan Fest banners. And now we're sort of entering a time for Global where we're not really going to be getting that many hype things coming up at all over the course of the next 2 to 3 months, I would say, unless there's a Global first. So if you're somebody who's on the fence about summoning for Jiren, it's not advisable to summon, but it wouldn't be the end of the world, I don't think.
Yeah, so that's what's interesting is, JP, we're about 2 weeks away from finding out, what LRs it is, what the banners look like. I assume at that point, every global player is saying, I'm not summoning until they drop, but there probably is going to be a global first at some point. Because if we take a look at the schedule now, right? So JIREN basically slides into the slot that Turles was in before, which makes sense, right? JIREN makes way more sense in the Angel Golden Frieza celebration than Turles did. But now Turles is kind of put in a weird position because a lot of people would say like, oh, he'll be part 2 for the Bojack celebration. But the Bojack celebration didn't have a part 2 on JP. It was literally completely split off, and Gohan was just a Christmas celebration, which Global got at the same time. So I do expect like a global first, maybe sort of like part 1, and then, to go along with that Turles at some point, right? Because we'll get PyCon and Janemba. Probably those usually drop in like May for global.
Yeah,
right?
well, okay. Another point is they could fill up the same slot that they released Nappa and Vegeta in 2020 for Turles this year, right?
That was June, right?
Yeah, I mean they could push him back
Poor Turles.
because Nappa and Vegeta were tied. They were tied to the Blue Kaioken celebration, right?
Yeah, but that was weird, right? Because it was like Blue Kaioken, but then the LR Krillin Prime Battle came out at the same time, and I think did that come out at the same time as Vegeta Nappa on Global? I think it did, right?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, so it's a little bit odd. I would much rather they just catch the games up, but I don't know. Dokkan is weird.
It's hard to tell right now, but
yeah.
They could do that.
I'm probably thinking we are definitely going to see a global first, I would say, or at maybe global and JP at the same time again. Because again, Anniversary is about to come out for JP, and that doesn't come out till like July 7th to the 10th range for global, and they're not going to switch that up, so we'll see. Although dropping JIREN now, Battlefield ending at the same time, 6-year anniversary, both versions at the same time, maybe. Probably not.
No.
Probably not. Yeah. One other thing I want to add real quick, and then we'll just talk about the units real quick and finish up here, is that yet again, this mattered right here. When you see sort of like where these Elder Kai banners end and shit like that, a lot of times this typically will show like when another banner is going to arrive. So definitely something to usually keep an eye on with these celebrations. So we have JIREN, right? JIREN is definitely one of the top 5 best units in the game, I'd say, without question. I think, Vegito, Buhan, Turles, JIREN, UI Goku, to me, that's like the easy top 5. JIREN is just ultra mega powerful, 200% attack and defense as a summonable LR with over 21,000 attack and 14,000 defense. You don't see units have 200% attack and defense and then they have 20,000 attack and shit like that. Not very common whatsoever. So that alone makes JIREN ridiculously powerful. It's not hard to get his super effective against all types because they are going to release 2 units during this celebration. Not this Topo and then this Topo, which are designed basically to have JIREN just be able to go all out. So God Topo, right, is super good with his EZA, but he does have this very pointless effect of lowering all enemies' defense by 70%. When you're not with JIREN, this is literally nothing. If Topo and JIREN are on the same rotation, this becomes a god-level ability because it's then allowing JIREN to be super effective against all types, making this a disgusting combo, right? And you could put, depending upon the situation too, God Topo can be very good defensively if you have the 70% or 70% or less HP. That damage reduction is active. He could go in slot 1, or JIREN could go in slot 1. So you can, they're sort of interchangeable. It works really well. So you definitely want to make sure to get God Topo done, right? Because he's super good for our boy JIREN. Then there's also this Int Topo. Now this Topo, no one talks about this guy, but that's because he's literally just like support, like he's a complete unit made to help JIREN. The only thing about that really pisses me off though, is that he has Shattering the Limit, which makes no sense because he's literally designed for JIREN, yet they purposely gave him Shattering Limit instead of Fierce Battle, because there's no reason like that they couldn't have just been like, all right, you're gonna awaken with the JIREN Dokkan Fest medals. Instead, they gave him the shitty casserole medals from the story event right here, which it just doesn't make sense. Like the casserole medals obviously are going to awaken the free-to-play unit Casserole, who's good with his defensive stacking, but I don't know why they had to have the banner unit awaken with these medals, especially when there's already a Jiren Dokkan event. So that was a huge misplay by Dokkan. But our boy Topo right here has the attack and defense lowering, so you can put him in slot 1. He'll activate Jiren's full passive, along with being a support type unit, and then the boy's got guard as well. So you know that boy is good. So then the last one is just Dispo.
Poor Dispo.
You have any thoughts on Dispo? Or?
Yeah, I mean, he's solid in like longer events, but that's pretty much his niche, right? He doesn't really do ultra well in Through Battle Road. He's okay, I guess. I don't know.
I am really not a fan that they did not give him start of turn defense. It's really stupid.
Yeah.
Like, this is really good. This is a ridiculous, like, this is an insanely strong ability, but he doesn't have any defense to start with, which hurts him bad. So I don't know. Oh, one other thing I should mention about all these Universe 11 characters as well is that they're all on Space Traveling Warriors. Now, obviously, Bojack is going to come probably in a couple months, because, like, if we look at the schedule, I think Global will probably put in Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta opposite the 6th-year anniversary on JP. So, like, JP is going to be getting UI Goku and stuff like that, but at least Global will be getting Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, who, again, I think is, like, that's better than them releasing, like, you know, Android 13 or something like that, opposite, like, the anniversary. So that'll be good. After that, so probably the start of March, I think Bojack will probably arrive on Global. And with him comes the Space Traveling Warrior category. This team is so crazy, and these Universe 11 characters work so well on this, because the team is designed for Bojack to work as, like, the best support type unit in the game, basically. Best floating support type unit in the game, I mean. And then you could just run a full rotation with Turles, who will eventually come to Global, Jiren, who's coming on the 18th. Like, you could just run a murderer's row team. So there is this, like, everyone was saying, oh, we're missing Topo because of the content. I mean, you do have, again, the story event with Casserole, and then, of course, you have the EZA for God Topo and Dispo. Very easy, by the way. Weak to Universal Survival Saga. So you have 600 leaders that could take this down. You could rock Kale and Caulifla, right, for their infinite stacking and dodging and stuff like that. This is a very, very simple EZA. So, I mean,
yeah, and then one more thing about the actual Universe 11 team is we still don't have, like, a top tier, just regular Topo. So that's a slot that's open, and then Dispo as well. I believe his awakened version is like super light speed mode or whatever.
Yep.
So we still need, like, a transforming Topo into God Topo. Maybe that's like a Dokkan Fest exclusive or an LR.
Yep.
And then we could also use another just TUR Dispo.
Yeah.
That's not light speed mode.
Yeah, and, like, this is it for the Universe 11 category, right? Like, even, like, this Jiren, I feel like, could be replaced as, like, a transforming Jiren, right? And keep in mind that this unit right here is not actually Topo, but he's Topo / Pride Troopers. So,
yep.
Yeah, so there we go, Global. There's the data download right here. This is pretty good. Again, I would say, all in all, that people really, like, now we can put the final nail in the coffin that people way overreacted when Gohan was shown on Global. I remember being stunned, like, whoa, I thought everyone would be happy that freaking Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is on both versions at the same time, but Jiren was literally just moved a little bit. Like, it wasn't even really that big of a deal. He fits in fine with the Golden Frieza celebration. The EZA and everything is coming as part of this celebration. Nothing is being, you know, shifted wildly or stupidly or something like that. So this is looking pretty good for Global Dokkan. Thanks, guys, for watching. Shout out, I guess, to the homies over here on 5-9 Gaming, live recording this video on stream.
Yep.
Yeah.
In the middle of Demon Souls.
Yeah, the Demon Souls is fun. Make sure you stop by 5-9 Gaming. We're doing a lot of cool stuff over here. Be hyped for Jiren, but don't summon for him. Wait to get him in the future. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.